Welcome everybody to another episode of... Does this game still hold up? David, does this game still hold up? David, would you kindly tell me, actually, if this game still holds up?
No, I must resist.
I'm going to stab myself with a plasmid, or whatever the fuck it's called.
A man chooses a slave obeys.
So in today's video, David and myself will be starting our exploration into the Bioshock trilogy with the intention of seeing if these games do still in fact hold up today in the year of our Lord 2025. And so naturally, we're going to be kicking things off with the iconic 2007 smash hit, Bioshock. That's it. No other name. It's just Bioshock. No subtitle, no nothing.
No subtitle.
It's old enough to drink. It's 18 years old. And,
oh my god, I just realized that too. Oh god.
It's like, there's like a flashback to our Assassin's Creed video where it's just
I just turned 31. Oh, my knees.
Oh god, it's all downhill from here, buddy. But yeah, so the interesting thing, and this is what I'm looking forward to, David, is that you've played all of these games, and I haven't played these games before this video, except for maybe like an hour into Bioshock Infinite, but we'll get there. But yes, so Bioshock, where do we even start, David? I'll just give I'll give a bit of a brief overview, I guess, of the actual game itself.
My name is Andrew Ryan.
So Bioshock, for those of you who don't know, is a 2007 first-person shooter developed by 2K Boston, which later became Irrational Games, and also 2K Australia, and it was published by 2K, and it's widely acclaimed for its immersive atmosphere and compelling narrative and unique setting, and I'd say that this is a critical darling and generally received so well for its unique setting and storytelling as well. So you play as, your player character, I should say, is Jack, who is a sole survivor of a plane crash.
Much generic name too, Jack.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, we'll just call him Eugene.
he's a survivor of a plane crash, and I'm like, is this Lost? Is this TV show Lost? We got to go back to the island. But yeah, anyway, so a plane crashes at the start of. You're fucking lighting a cigarette on the plane. I say is, take me back to those days before the world went woke. Am I right?
Yeah, I know, right? Let me smoke on my plane.
Let me smoke on a plane next to a baby. Like, who cares? You know,
who cares?
But yeah, so basically you crash, and then you find a lighthouse, which is the entrance into the underwater city of Rapture, and you're guided by this mysterious figure named Atlas, who promises to help you escape this crumbling city. And yeah, Rapture is this beautiful dystopian underwater city. It's been conceived by this industrialist named Andrew Ryan. He's touted it as this utopia, and God, it's such a cool setting for a game, I think. What do you think, David?
Oh my god, where do I even begin with this game? I remember when I first picked this game up as a wee little lad, and playing that introduction where obviously you're in that submarine going down, and Andrew Ryan is talking about, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, said the man in Washington, it belongs to us. You know, and I was like, what is this guy talking about? And then he's like, I made Rapture, and then the screen pops up and you see Rapture for the first time, and you're like, oh, holy shit, this is
mesmerizing. It looks so cool.
It is one of the most iconic intros to a video game I can think of. It is just so breathtaking and memorizing. You're like, oh my god, is this Atlantis?
It helps that it's got that 1940s, 1950s aesthetic
50s
as
kind
well.
Of aesthetic.
It's just, had it been any other era, I just don't think it would have worked as well. I just think that it's honestly the perfect setting or time period for a game like this.
Yeah.
So
and then you get to Rapture and you see the splicer for the first time. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh, dude, I was freaked the fuck out. I was so scared.
Yeah. Is it someone new? I'm like, nah, you can get away. And then you go and start Jack's journey into Rapture, where subtle clues tells you that something, not subtle clues, massive clues that tell you that this society has gone completely off the rails.
So something's not quite right here. I'm pretty sure that it's not subtle at all. It's basically right from the start. It's
right
like
from the start.
From the first cutscene, you see that splicer and you're like, all right, what am I in store for?
All right, you just got that person in front of me.
Okay, so I didn't expect it to be scary, but I was genuinely scared for the first probably 30 to 60 minutes of the game, and then eventually I was just like, oh yeah, okay, eerie. I get it. But it does such a good job at setting this suspenseful horror tone at the start of the game. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. What do you think?
I think more of a creepy tone.
Yeah, unsettling.
One thing I like to the one thing that sticks out to me the most is two scenes. The first scene is when you first get the shotgun, when you first pick it up, and then the lights go out, and you just start to hear all the footsteps going around you, and you're like, there's splices around me, but you just don't know where they are. And then 4 or 5 splices just all come at you once. You're like, oh! I remember playing that as a kid. That freaked me out. And the second scene is that really just amplifies more creepy or kind of the horror elements is when you go into that medical clinic with that doctor. I forgot the doctor's name.
Yeah. I forget his name too, but yeah.
You pick up his audio files that he's left behind, and you can just hear him descend more and more into madness, and just like how
100%.
he wants to find like the perfect specimen, the perfect body. And then you find him for the first time. He's like, this one's too tall. This one's too short. This one's too ugly. And then he sees you like, he's hideous. And you're like, oh my God, he's just gunning these people up right in front of you. And you're just the controller. I was holding my controller. I was sweating. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a big boss battle, isn't it? But yeah, it's the game atmosphere is incredible. It is eerie. It is creepy, and it will keep you on your toes. It's a beautiful game design. It really is beautiful game design that I don't think I've seen anywhere else.
It also does such a good job with its setting. Like you said, the surgery clinic, like it's some really eerie places, and you really just want to explore the destruction and the downturn of this place. And I think as well, the way that this game is, the actual setting and the themes and the characters and your innate nature of wanting to explore. Okay, I'm here in Rapture and I want to escape, but I also want to learn everything I can about it. Yeah. It's you know that the game has been designed so well and has done such a good job at building that intrigue. Like typically when it comes to the, extra files or extra grimoire stuff or stuff where you're learning extra content about these characters, like it's not core information but side information, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Stuff that isn't required. Like usually I don't really care about that stuff, but I actually found myself in this game actively going out of my way to look for the audio logs, so that way I can hear about like these characters' POVs and what they're going through. And that surgeon, like you said, he's descending into madness, and he was inspired by Pablo Picasso and trying to sculpt the perfect face and all that stuff. And I just thought that was so fascinating with the implementation of the plasmids, which is something that I think is incredibly unique to this series in this game. And maybe we should start moving on to the actual gameplay itself. So did you want to provide a bit of an explanation or context as to what plasmids and Atom and all that stuff is?
Yeah, so Bioshock is a first-person shooter with some light RPG mechanics. You have your main weapons like, your pistol, shotgun, Tommy gun, rocket launchers that you get access throughout the game the more you keep playing. But the one thing that does set this apart from other shooters is its plasmids. So early on in the game, you will find different sorts of plasmids that will change Jack's DNA, recode it essentially, where it will give him special, unique powers. Like an example, shooting lightning from your hands, fire from your hands, ice from your hands, telekinesis, etc., etc. Now, to unlock more plasmids, which, offer unique gameplay mechanics and styles of how you approach different things, you have to find the rare source known as Atom. Atom has become this currency of some sort where everyone's gone mad over it, gone crazy over it, because the more Atom you have, the more you can rewrite your genetic code and become more powerful, essentially, where you'll be able to buy upgrades like more plasmids or health upgrades, stuff like that. Now,
it's kind of like it's like an upgrade currency, so to speak, but everyone's just gone fucking batshit crazy for it.
It's like meth.
Yeah, basically, it's like this game's version of meth.
It's like meth.
Well, Jesse, we've got to cook.
Ryan, we got to cook. We got to cook, Jack. Now, to get Atom, it is obtained by finding little sisters. Now, these...
I wanted to talk to you about this. Yeah.
Yeah, these children who have been transformed into these creepy-ass kind of
zombie little girls, I guess.
Zombie little girls that go around and stab people in the stomach to collect their Atom, which is, not creepy at all.
It's really unsettling.
It's just a phase. They're just a girl. Yeah. However, the little sisters are guarded by what are known as Big Daddies, who are genetically made super bodyguards who are in iron suits that are really tough to kill, and they can fuck you up a lot if you don't prepare for them. Once you defeat a Big Daddy, you'll be able to make a choice of what you would like to do to the little sister. You can choose to harvest the little sister, which will kill the little sister in the process, but you get more Adam. Or you can choose to save the little sister, which can revert her back to her, I guess, as a child, but you get less Adam in the process.
Yes, yeah. So I guess... So let's just talk about this for a second then, because obviously when it comes to the, like you just said, with the little sisters, you could either harvest them or save them. What did you choose to do?
Well, in my first playthrough, I really didn't care, so I harvested them all.
Oh my god!
I felt too bad. In my defense, I was like a young teenager at the time, so I was like, I'm thinking I want more power. yeah. It sort of phased me. It's who I am. Yeah, screw them. I want to be the most powerful, badass Jack that's ever been jacked around Rapture.
Oh my god. So they seem to implement this element of choice with this game between harvesting or not harvesting them.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, I know that the ending changes, but I was curious if gameplay mechanics throughout the game also changes except for, the currency. So I found that really interesting. As for the actual gameplay itself, so a couple of things that I really noted was the fact that I felt like the actual gameplay... So I didn't actually enjoy the gunplay. I thought that the gunplay felt very floaty, very old, and very dated. And I thought it was fine. Like, it didn't feel smooth in the sense of like, I was like, trying to aim down the sights or whatever. But it was just whatever. I was just shooting my way to get through to the next part of the story because I felt that the story was so engaging that I was just rushing to get to the next part. So it was almost like story came first, gameplay was second, which is interesting because that's kind of the opposite of Assassin's Creed 1, where the story was so paper thin and repetitive, but the gameplay was enough to tide you over. But there's a couple of things that I noticed. So I thought it was an interesting choice to have with, say, the weapons and the ammo situation. It always frustrated me how I was always so light on ammo, and ammo conservation I felt like was a real big thing in this game, which I guess is clever to make it feel more intentional, but I guess it forces you to cycle through your weapons more. So I think that kind of frustrated me a little bit. But also, like, the limit of cash was like 500, and like the limit of ammo, like, it was all just quite small, and I wish that it was a little bit bigger because I found that to be more annoying than clever. But on the flip side, the one thing I did like is that if you explored the maps enough, you could find these weapon upgrade stations. And I loved that. Something I complained about with Borderlands is that, if you level up, that sometimes the skills, they're quite insignificant, these upgrades. Well, here, every single upgrade you can choose from, because I guess there's so few of them, they all feel so substantial. I don't know if it's because, like each gun, I'm pretty sure only has 2 upgrades. It's like the ammo capacity typically, it's the damage, and it's like the fire rate or something like that. But every time I upgraded a weapon, I could feel the difference. And I think that is so important for a game like this. But when it came to exploration though, I never used the map. I never wanted to use the map because scrolling the map is so fucking slow.
The map's a bit of a pain.
Dude, what the fuck were they thinking with this? Like, just trying to... and it's also like really confusing as well with all like the arrows pointing around everywhere. Like, I was just like, you know what? 100%. I'm just not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to walk around and hope to God that at this point in the story that I have that floating arrow pointing at the top of the screen. I'm just going to ignore the map altogether. And you know what? Another thing that I hate, actually, now that I'm on a bit of a tangent here, somebody stop me. But I hate the security alarms and the cameras and the bots. Dude, I kept triggering the alarm, and I was. It sounds
like a skill issue, to be honest. It sounds like a skill issue, to be honest. You know, you can zap him and hack him, right?
Yeah, I know. Like, I figured that out pretty late.
Do you mind if I ask what console did you play it on?
PS5.
Oh, okay. That makes I played on PC, which has the controls are much better on PC when it comes. But I can understand the gunplay and how it can feel very floaty.
Look sensitivity was a little weird. It was it was really weird. And you know what? One thing I've actually noticed, so I don't know if there's just widely known issues with the Bioshock collection, the remastered collection. Initially it was for the PS4, but it's playable on the PS5, where it's got Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2. But the game actually crashed on me a couple of times, which I never really have on a console, which I found really interesting. And I guess something for the next episode, I started dabbling with Bioshock 2, but I didn't get too far ahead with it because I wanted to save myself a next video. But I tried saving the game when I was about 2 or 3 hours into the game, and it said that I didn't have enough room to save. And it's because I had apparently like too many saves from Bioshock 1. So it's
what?
So it's not that I didn't have, I had like 100 gigs free on my PS5, but it wouldn't let me save because apparently I just had too many saves, like 10 saves from Bioshock 1. And it was like, no, don't have any more room. I'm like, are you fucking serious? So yeah, I think there's definitely a few issues there. Oh, and I guess like the last main thing, I guess when it comes to the gameplay that I'll touch on is the plasmids itself and the abilities and stuff like that. I felt like plasmids at first was a really cool and unique concept, like, you know, these abilities. But after a while, I kind of just didn't end up using them as much as I thought. I just kind of kept using like my guns and my wrench. And, you know, occasionally maybe some lightning fingers and some incinerate, but that's kind of it. I felt like there was a learning curve with this game where at the start of the game when I was scared and I was freaked out about like my first interaction with the Big Daddy, I was like, holy fuck, this is like a boss fight kind of thing. And I genuinely found them really hard to kill at the start until I started getting some upgrades. But man, like I would try and throw everything I could at them with my plasmids, and you know, I had like the dummy one, the decoy. So I was finding that I was using a lot of plasmids like that. But towards the end of the game, dude, you're fucking picking off everyone like so easy. So it just doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't know. What was your experience like with the gameplay?
Yeah, so it was a little bit different because I played on PC, but I can see how a lot of the gunplay mechanics complaints can be seen on a controller. To me, obviously playing on a mouse is a little differently, especially with the gunplay, it becomes a little bit more smoother. To me, I enjoyed revisiting the gameplay. I liked, obviously, using the plasmids. I can see what you mean about not using all of them. I only stuck mainly to like electricity because I found that to be the most useful technique, which is just stunning the enemy and then walking up to them and just whacking them in the head. I played a little bit differently from you. I literally hacked every security camera and bot I found because they're just so easy to have, especially when you have splices all over you, that it's nice for the bots to come out and save you.
I also like the hacking system in this game.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
It's fun. It's a fun little mini game, isn't it?
Yeah. It took me a while to get it, but once I got it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty clever.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. You have to obviously find the pathway to bypass a circuit, I guess. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I did suffer a lot of crashes on PC, like maybe 4 or 5, and I think it might be an issue with the collection because it was just really annoying, and the game doesn't have a really good autosave feature. I don't know if you experienced that as well, because there will be some times where I've just lost like 30 minutes of gameplay because the game
I did notice that actually. Yeah,
and which was really frustrating. And obviously I have to constantly save, which was a little bit frustrating as well. But yeah, really enjoyed playing it again, and really did feel a lot of nostalgia while revisiting the eerie world of Rapture. My favorite gun is obviously the shotgun and magnum, I think.
Yeah, dude, the shotgun was so good, especially once you upgrade it fully. So satisfying.
And you get the electric shells.
Yeah, so good, dude. So
but yeah,
good.
Because you can literally run up shotgun and then you can pull back and pull out your magnum, and then you can easily go for the headshot or hit him with the 1-2 punch and shock him in the wrench. One thing I did a lot more in this game is I used the camera. I don't know if you used the camera during...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the camera. I did use it a little bit. Yeah.
I decided to give that a go a little bit more because I didn't see how much the gameplay would change, because I never used it when I originally played it. And oh my god, it completely just changes the whole entire, not gameplay, but the more you keep researching the splices, you get more buffs to them, so you can do more damage. And then once you unlock them, once you get more critical damage, they just become, they fall over a lot easier. Like sometimes it would
I don't know how I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, sometimes it could just be a bullet to the head, and you find out what different ammo that they're weak to. Like,
well, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was
Yeah.
just like, it was just telling you what they're weak to. I didn't realize that it was, oh, well, I guess, isn't there a plasmid, or the genes, I should say, not plasmids.
The genes.
Good genes, like Sydney Sweeney. But like, there's passive ones where it kind of, that makes sense, because I think there was one where it was like, oh, the research bonus damage or bonus buffs against like researched enemies or something like that. I didn't connect the dots. That would have been
I didn't
helpful to know that.
I didn't either. So yeah, I got to, I think it was like the main splicer. I researched like 3 or 4 times. So literally I would just walk up to them and just smack it with the wrench and they immediately die.
Oh God, that would have been so good, dude.
Yeah, so it does alleviate some of those difficulty spikes in some of the areas. And I love how, and one of my favorite things is how you can use the environment for your plasmids. Like an example, shock in the water where there's a bunch of splices in it and just makes them all electrocute.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Or light in a fire where there's an oil slick. Or telekinesis a barrel into one of their faces and create a massive explosion.
It really creates a good like multi approach to a combat scenario. Yeah.
And I love that not everyone's playthrough is going to be the same. Some people are going to be more stealthier and like hack more of the turrets just to use them as a defense, or some people are going to go in guns blazing and not care, or some people are just going to use the plasmas more. And that's what I love about the Bioshock game. It's just that variety of difference, and it's really unique because it's refreshing in a way to revisit a game that gives you so many options, because not many games do that these days.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird because I'm at odds with the gameplay, because the exploration and the setting of it is just so perfect. And
it's so perfect.
I didn't hate the gunplay or like the plasmid element of it. I didn't hate that at all. And I found the resource management a little bit frustrating because it was like an extra element on top of everything that I was just like, I could do without this. But it makes sense, I think, in this world. And I think that, yeah, it goes with the narrative, and overall, all of it, to a certain degree, is quite cohesive, even though I feel like the gunplay itself might be a little bit dated by today's standards. But
I love, I when I play this game, I just go explore every nook and cranny I can find, because I just love to get lost in this world. I love finding the audio files and just listening to people's perspectives. The one most sad one I remember was where this mother is leaving this message for her child, and she's like, "I'm in room number 7. This is the code."
I think I know this one. Yeah.
And you're like, "Okay, that's really interesting. So I gotta go to this place, type in this code, and then I'll get in there." And then you find the place, and like, "Okay, I type in this code." And then you walk in, and it's just how well developers have designed the narrative perspective, because like I said, it's just the small things that people may miss out, because not many people would go into this room. So you walk in and you see this couple on their bed and the audio file's there, and next to the couple who are obviously dead is a bottle of poison pills. And then you listen to the audio file and it's the mother again, and it talks about how both of them saw their little daughter, but it wasn't a daughter, it was a little sister, a monster. And they're crying, they're in tears, and then you put the pieces together like, oh my God, they saw their daughter become a monster, and they couldn't live with the guilt or the shame or the horror anymore, and they decided to kill themselves with the poison bottle next to them.
That's brutal. But it's nice that they've added that extra storytelling in there when they didn't
have to. They didn't need to. And just like that level of exploration where you can just find things like that just tickles something in my brain that I really love.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like this is going to be a long episode, but I feel like we've talked a lot about the gameplay. Actually, I will say one more thing. I'm so sorry. I do love
such a good game.
I'm surprised I have so much to talk about it, to be honest, because at its core, it's a very simple game. But I think that it just does such a good job with its execution that it's hard not to want to talk about it. I don't know, but I just picked everything up, even if I didn't even pay attention to what it was. I'm just like, every single time I saw someone or something kind of flash, I just picked it up. I just didn't care. I was just like, whatever. And I didn't think twice about it, because it was satisfying. But the only thing I didn't like is that the game doesn't tell you whether someone does or doesn't have anything on them. Like, it doesn't have like a empty symbol.
Yeah,
if you go, like, click. So
that's true.
I felt like I was wasting a lot of time just like clicking on everything I saw. So I don't know. That's just a little bit of a last little tidbit about the gameplay, I guess. But obviously not to pad out this runtime or anything. I feel like we've actually had a lot to say about this. But David, would you kindly tell me a little bit about the ending and the plot twist? Because I think that's probably one of the most iconic things about what makes this game, I guess, such a classic, and what people love about it is not only its story, but it actually does have one of the most iconic video game plot twists.
Yes. To be honest, I never saw this coming when I was a kid, when I was playing this game, and replaying it now and obviously playing it once again, you can see the clues. But the most famous plot twist in this game is that the game's protagonist, Jack, is not an actual independent person, but a mind-controlled pawn assassin conditioned to obey any command preceded by the phrase, "Would you kindly?" Turns out that Atlas, which is meant to be Jack's supposed ally, is revealed to be the most famous thought-dead Frank Fontaine, a criminal mastermind using Jack to kill Andrew Ryan and seize control of Rapture.
When I was playing this, I didn't see this coming, because you arrive on Rapture and then immediately, just like seconds out of getting off of this contraption, you're just stabbing yourself in the arm with a plasmid, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Why would you do that? It felt very video gamey.
Ooh, drugs!
And then it's like throughout the game, it's like Atlas is just like, oh, would you kindly do this? Would you kindly do that? I'm like, why the fuck is he? And you know what? You tipped me off last week because you asked me, you're like, oh, would you kindly? I'm like, what is that? I feel like this is meant to be something. And then, you end up finding out that, you're an experiment basically from Tenenbaum. She's basically bred you. You're like 4 years old technically, but you've been accelerated into an adult. You crash
with
into
false memories.
Yeah, and you're basically brought back to Rapture by design. And then, of course, you end up coming face to face with Andrew Ryan, and then you fucking take him out with a golf
We told you to do it.
And I'm like, it's some of the most well-designed voice acting. I think that it's so visceral with, he's just like gurgling on his own blood as he's smacking him over the head, and I'm just like, oh. But then
a man chooses, a slave obeys.
So it was so powerful. And then I actually felt myself like from this point forward, and then when Atlas reveals to be Fontaine, you're just like, oh shit, okay, well now I just want to get this sucker. And the rest of the game felt so much more energetic and fast paced, and I just thought it was such a well executed plot twist, and I'm really curious to see if there's anything like that in the next game. But I think as far as I'm interested for our next week's conversation, but I just think that it was just done so well. Everything was just presented to you at a really good pace. And there was just a good level of intrigue building. And I just thought it was really good.
Well, and obviously that leads to its final conclusion where you come face to face with Frank Fontaine in the most, to be honest, I found his fight always frustrating. Did you find that frustrating?
I didn't find it, I thought it was actually quite straightforward and easy. I just thought it looked a little bit cartoony and goofy, but then again, I felt like his alias was Atlas, and I assumed that they were trying to make him look like Atlas, like the Greek god that the Titan that held up the earth. So I felt like that's what they were trying to do. But no, I thought overall, I just got it. I got it first go. I thought it was pretty straightforward.
So when you come face to face with Atlas, you come head to head toe where he turns into this massive, grotesque atom monster. He's just jacked up on roids. And at the end, when you do take him down, it's the little sisters who come and save the day.
This is like hundreds of them just like washing over him like a wave and just stabbing him with all these like needles. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And they're like, get him. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Are you okay?
Yeah, it was fucked. But we've talked about the ending. We've talked about the gameplay. I think it's about time, David. It's our favorite time of the video where we go through a couple of Easter eggs. Yay! Okay,
I love Easter eggs. No.
All right, well, this game has fuck all Easter eggs. It has references, but it's very light on the Easter eggs, but I did manage to wrangle two together. So the first Easter egg, so in the area of the Worley Winery, you can find a wheel of cheese on the ground with a triangle cut out of it, David, and accompanying this wheel of cheese is a line of bullet holes right in front of it, which is it's a very cool reference to the iconic game Pac-Man. So that's very cool. I personally so fucking stupid. All right, so the next Easter egg is, while working your way through the Fleet Hall, you can find a poster for a Sander Cohen stage production, which also just happens to have two familiar names as the title. And that stage production title is Patrick and Moira, the story of love after death. And if you didn't know, Patrick and Moira are the names of Atlas's so-called wife and child, which makes me wonder, if he just made up those names all along. So
interesting.
Bit of food for thought there, David. But that's basically...
I do have an Easter egg of Bioshock as well that I like to share.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, please give us an Easter egg.
This Easter egg was discovered in 2018, 10 years after Bioshock's release. Essentially, in Bioshock 1, you can go to the second half of Hephaestus, let's say Hephaestus, where you first encounter Ryan in person. What you're meant to do is you're meant to turn on art captions and you'll see a developer message about a certain developer. What you need to do is you need to incinerate yourself down to 1 HP, then use it again in the area where a cutscene triggers and walk into it. You will then spawn into a vital chamber outside the map, look up, and you will see the message saying, "Bug this. If you can read this, Paul Hellquest did not do his job. Love, King."
It's so specific.
It's so specific, which is why I was just going 10 years after, because how the hell was anyone meant to figure that out?
Damn, that's crazy. That makes me wonder how many Easter eggs like this, like such specific Easter eggs, are left in games. And it reminds me of classic Easter eggs from games like Ratchet and Clank, where you do specific things to get yourself off the map, and then you discover like a secret gallery left by the devs for anyone who finds all that stuff. I just think that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. But that was the Easter egg I found that I wanted to share.
That's awesome, dude. That's really great. Now that we've gone through the Easter eggs, I guess let's tell the people what we think. Do we think that Bioshock 1 from 2007 still holds up today in the year of our Lord 2025?
A great question. No, I'm kidding. This game, this game definitely does hold up in the year of our Lord 2025. If you've never played Bioshock, I would highly, highly recommend that you do pick up the Bioshock collection just to revisit this masterpiece of a game. It's beautifully designed, the narrative, the story is amazing, the setting is gorgeous. The gunplay can feel, like I said, a little bit like dated if you play on console, but if you do play on PC, it does negate them. You will have a really, really interesting time in Rapture for the first time, or revisiting it a second time.
Okay, well, so it's tough because I think for the gameplay itself, like if you're just focusing on the actual gameplay, like the gunplay and all that stuff, it doesn't hold a candle to modern games. And I don't think that component of the game holds up. But I think that if you're wanting a game with a tight narrative, a really great campaign that lasts for about 10 to 15 hours, it's engaging, it hooks you in. I was going to say there's a great plot twist, but you would know it by now if you've watched this video. But the thing is, I just think overall, this is a really solid experience. Like I said, I don't think the gameplay holds up as well compared to other games from this era. However, I just think overall, if you're just looking for a really great story, this is a really great entry point and a really great game to explore. So I definitely think that this holds up in 2025 based on the story alone and the setting. But yeah, that was our visit into Bioshock 1. Thank you, as always, David. I'm really glad that we're finally exploring this game because I've never played this game before, and I'm really excited to properly explore Bioshock 2 because I think from what I've seen so far, you're a big daddy this time around.
Papa.
So,
you're big Papa Daddy.
Big Papa Daddy. So I'm really excited for that. So stay tuned for next week, guys. We're going to be exploring Bioshock 2. Is there anything else you want to say about Bioshock 1?
Yeah, to the guys who are listening to this, would you kindly please subscribe to our channel?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
that's
baby.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.
See you guys.